The Hangout on air is live.
Motherfucker, yeah.
Please watch your language, sir.
Eat a bag of dicks. Shithead.
Finding bag of dicks to eat.
Looks like you're the only one eating, Moose. Is that what's in your bag?
Yeah.
It is a bag of honey barbecue beef jerky.
Is that what they're calling dicks nowadays?
I mean, you do jerk a dick, so. Well, sometimes.
I mean,
when you're lonely. My wife's 30 now. She joined the 30 club.
The dirty 30.
Wife, give a wave.
Stop yelling.
Whoa.
Hi.
She's like, "Can't you stop yelling?"
Yeah, because the baby's sleeping. When my headphones are on, and you know how it gets. So
Sana has perfected that art of politely asking with just enough venom that'll let you know she'll kill you if you don't stop. Please stop yelling, or I will murder you.
I love you, but you will fucking die.
Either by God's hand or mine.
That's right.
Which do you prefer? So I only have one game to talk about this week.
it's one more than I got.
And I'm excited to talk about it. Well, I will mention the Division again. Because
Well,
I got the platinum in it.
I played a few games, actually.
Congratulations. Again.
Thank you. All right. What do you say? Oh, actually, hang on. Let me gotta look at my daily affirmation real quick. Give me 1 second. Stuart Smalley.
Hey guys, Car Trader on Switch is $3.99.
Awesome.
Car Trader?
I know you guys
What
are
is that?
excited. Let's find out.
Sounds like one of them easy platinum games on PS4.
It literally looks like Auto Trader, the magazine, but it's a Switch game.
I was going to say, you like trading cars to make money?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Cool.
Sweet.
Could be fun.
Sure.
Beef jerky. Yes.
I don't think I've ever tasted beef jerky.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of life are you living?
Not the good kind.
No,
Well-
he's not. Beef
Well,
jerky
I mean-
is like,
There's some bad beef jerky out there. I feel like more of it is bad than good. And the good ones are actually like even if you're like in the checkout aisle at the store, like it's the expensive stuff is like just expensive enough that might make you second guess buying it.
it's just salty. It's delicious salty candy. Oh, it's so good.
Candy.
I can't.
I can't have candy either, Moose. It's okay.
Well, I'm sorry. You can't have candy. It's not my fault.
I want candy.
It's these fake limitations I put on myself that just,
I mean, I think we all do that. Oh, and just so you guys know, I got us a guest next week.
Boy.
And
No, surprise.
well, it's gonna be a surprise.
I don't want to know who it is.
You can tell me what the surprise is.
It's gonna be well. I feel like our Sony show person might be a little jealous. Just maybe a little bit.
Our Sony show person.
Yeah. That was me trying to dance around the fact that it's you.
Okay. Next week. All right.
No. Yes, you are guesting on a show that you host.
I was like, what?
We're all
Because
guests and Matt's.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get evicted from my own world eventually.
Are you replacing me? It's okay.
No, I wouldn't. No.
I know numbers are down.
Are they down?
I think
No,
so.
they're actually up.
Because I remember Corey sent that picture of
Well,
339% more downloads this week. We're like, what's happening?
well, it's up another 33% this week. So
360 or great. I'll take it.
I guess I could look it up, but I don't want to.
Don't look at the numbers.
No, it's the first thing that pops up when you click on, like when you go into the Podbean menu and you click on my podcast, the first thing it brings up is like, this is how many downloads you've had the last like 30 days, 14 days, percentages up, whatever. And then it gives you this big chart.
So it slaps you in the face with unrealistic expectations or heartbreak. Great.
Both.
Right, welcome to the internet.
That's why.
Welcome to the internet.
That's why I usually just do one of these things and just go like this and click on upload new episode.
Yeah, just like you have to sort of like pick the region of the screen before you bring up that page. You're like, this is where it needs to be. I'm just gonna hit upload and just leave. You'd think they would incorporate functionality where you could avoid that, but no. Okay, shall we start? What do you say, guys?
All right. Pass.
Do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. There's going to be a revival tonight. Everybody's going to jump and shout and throw the good down. All your sisters and your brothers, bring all the others out into the light. This is your land, my land. Everybody going to be free. There'll be no more suicides. Love is all we need to make this world succeed. Let's give it all a try.
Yeah.
Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 145. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me at infinite_rewind everywhere you want. We are here live on YouTube every Monday night. Between 8:30 and 9 is generally when we start. We hit that window. I love it when a plan comes together. And if you're new, it's youtube.com/NGR radio. You can find all of our content at nerdsgonerogue.com. We do a whole bunch of shows. We do Nerds Gone Platinum, which is our Sony focused show, hosted by another member on the panel here, Moose. Say hi.
What's up, party people? Hi.
You can also find Nerds Gone Rogue B-Sides, Nintendo Power Block, and Arsenal X. And then you can find this show on Spotify and iHeartRadio at every podcast service you might want to listen to podcasts on every Monday morning around 7 a.m. With me this week, as you just heard Moose, our fearless leader, Corey Dierig. You can find him at Rogue Spartan, Corey in HD 713 on Twitter. Corey in HD everywhere else except Sony, which is Rogue Spartan 4. Corey, say hello.
Hello.
Joining us a little bit later in the show will be Captain Canada. So, ladies, get ready. Now, if you want to contact us outside the show,
don't do it.
Fair. That's probably
we don't want it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
It's not that we don't want it. I'm not sure they want to, because if you contact us, you never know what you're going to get. But I've given our Twitter handles everywhere you can find us. But also you can email the show at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com. We answer listener questions every show that they come in, and they've come in for the past 80 episodes. So we'll keep doing it. Also, this week is a very special week because we are giving away Rage 2.
Word.
Yeah.
So what do you say we just take care of that before we hit to game time? What do you say, guys?
Sure.
I guess we can. By the way, can I just say something before we give this game out?
Yeah.
Somebody went in and created about 40 different email accounts and literally copied and pasted their subscription and their show, how they found us. Okay. First of all, if you're going to do that, make sure you don't use the most generic copy paste names like Game Throne Thomas Tank,
Great.
John Wick. You know, hold on. Some of these are pretty good. I'm gonna keep going here.
Okay, right.
Let's see. Vape King.
Was John Martin? Is John Martin?
Crystal Gem.
Okay. All right.
Tangle Cable.
Wow, they were really reaching.
Watch Dog.
Oh, great.
Big
Ubisoft fan, apparently.
There's another one too.
So most of these are most of, if not all of these, getting disqualified. Is that what I'm understanding here?
Yes, because well, first of all, if you're gonna lie about how you found us, make sure your lie is accurate. Because they found us through our gameplay videos. We haven't posted gameplay videos in like, I don't know, a couple years.
Yeah.
So unless you found the Helldivers Let's Play, it was fun.
Yeah,
go watch it. It's good.
We should do that again.
Yeah, we should probably do that again at some point.
Helldivers is a good game.
Floppy Pancakes was the other one I wanted to shout out there. So
I had pancakes for dinner.
Yeah. So
it wasn't me that did this though.
Clorox bleach.
Wow.
Yeah.
This person was bored.
Yeah. Assassin Creed. That's a good one.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Apollo had another son.
Yeah. So yeah. That's all.
Okay. All right.
I was just like, man, you went through a lot of work to just copy and paste.
I mean, yeah.
But that's what happens though, and I guess when you're giving away a game and somebody wants it. So effort, I guess.
I'm not gonna lie. I've done that before for like dumb contests on the internet, but I also got bored after like 2. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this because here's the thing: chances are there's probably gonna be a way they could figure it out, and that'll probably. I mean, and if I wasn't gonna win, I'll definitely not win if they figure it out. So sometimes you just gotta trust in RNGesus. Am I right?
Right.
Okay. So how are we giving this away, Corey?
Well, Matt, I'm gonna have you choose a number between. Okay. Well, I have to count this number real quick, but you're gonna pick a number between 1 and
however many are there.
Yeah, and do we want to shuffle it a little bit? Do you want to choose like 3 numbers and we average them out? Do you want to?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, math.
Yeah.
About to do some hardcore math up in here.
I'll get my calculator out.
All right. I'm counting.
And then Moose bounced for a second. So
yeah, that's fine. We should wait for him. How are you, Matt? I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been busy. I've been tired. A coworker is injured, so I've been doing her portable rotations. I've done 4 portable rotations out of the last 5 weeks, and my arms and shoulders are just killing me.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it's been a
little extra money though.
Well, I mean, it's not no, because I'm still working the same hours, but like the overnight shift, there are 3 spots that need to be filled. One is the OR, one is the ER, and one is portables. And my coworker injured she's right-handed, so right in here, she has like a big ol' swelling from like a wound she got while she was cleaning her house, and it basically makes it impossible for her to grip a X-ray cassette without pain, and then trying to push a cassette under a patient, be they light or heavy, you're pushing it against that area. So after a few, you kind of want to chop your hand off. And so I'm just like, you know what? I'll dive on this grenade. I'll be the nice guy and do the portable rotations. I don't mind portables in general, but for doing that many weeks out of doing that many weeks in a row, I mean, just 2 in a row twice, it's exhausting, and I'm learning that that's actually pretty difficult to recover from quickly, especially at my age.
Wound?
No, the portable rotation. Because like when I first started doing X-ray, like and I would do like a portable rotation at the first hospital, well, the hospital that gave me a student job.
Mhm.
It would be, I would be tired, but I was also 33. Like,
We ain't breaking chicken anymore.
yeah,
No
like now that I'm 39, like I'm starting to feel my joints.
You're gonna be joining the Lordy He's 40 club.
Yeah,
Right behind me, motherfucker.
6 months. 6 months.
I'll be there soon, guys.
No, shut up, Corey. This is the old people conversation. You could fuck off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm always more team oriented. Like I'd rather just everyone get through their shift smoothly and
No, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
and like, well, if you ask our other coworker, she has some things to say about it, but
Is she trash?
no,
Help
like,
or
like, well, both
he doesn't help.
Both of my coworkers are actually really good. Like I'm actually glad I'm in this 3-person team as opposed to other 3-person teams that I could have worked with. Either present staff or past coworkers included. But I think this particular coworker just defaults to negative.
One of them.
And you know, like we had she and I had a bit of a butting of the heads a couple weeks ago, and she just defaults to like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. And I'm like, hold on, let's take a step back. None of what you're saying really makes sense. I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna do. You do that. We'll revisit this, because if we just sit here and argue, nothing will get done. And then literally like 2 hours later, we had a conversation. We're like, yeah, we did this incorrectly, but I'm glad we got through it. Mm-hmm. So it's just sort of like she kind of knee jerks. But actually, I couldn't be happier with both my coworkers, because I think we all have the right personalities to get along, and or at least, I mean, if we're not getting along that particular day, we can just get through it. But yeah, I'm actually really glad I work where I do. Like I couldn't be happier with my job. As opposed to other times on this podcast where I have complained about it.
Mm-hmm.
How's the counting going, Corey?
Oh, I'm done.
Okay. How many do we got?
We have 62.
62.
Okay.
Just one above the Maris number. I'll take it. All right. So I'm guessing 3.
Okay.
3 number? No, 3 numbers.
Yeah.
And then we'll
3 numbers. 3 numbers, and we will average them out.
Okay. So first number.
Got my calculator app ready.
I'm already ahead of you.
Oh, okay.
First number is 19.
All right.
Second number is 43.
Okay.
And third number is 57. Divide that by 3.
Interesting. Do you want to round up or down?
What's the decimal point? What's the number?
0.66 repeating.
Well, then we round up.
All right. Well, the number is 39.66 repeating, which means
40.
Email number 40. Let me scroll here. I put them all.
Email 40. That's my second favorite rapper of all time. No, it's not.
No, what?
You don't get hip hop. I'm sorry. It's a reference to
any hop.
I don't get.
It was a reference to E40, but okay.
Okay, we have a winner. Drum roll, please. Drum roll. Like that scene in,
yeah, we get it. Christmas Vacation. Yeah, got it. Get new material. I did that last time.
Joy to the world. Remember when he starts singing?
Yes, I remember.
Okay. Thanks. Our winner of Rage 2, a PlayStation 4 copy of Rage 2. Tyler Markovovich. I hope I said your name right. Tyler Markovovich. It's probably Markovovich.
Spell it.
Marchovavich.
Huh.
Markovovich?
That's Markovovich.
Markovovich.
Yeah.
Well, you have won, Tyler.
Congratulations, Tyler.
He says.
What did he say?
He says, I found your show for the Rage 2 giveaway. I'm not going to lie to you all. But in the end, I really dig your show. I've gone back to listen, and I really appreciate you giving a show that can be binged. Backlog episodes feel like they could have been recorded yesterday, and I really like that in a podcast. Also, you 3/4/guests have great chemistry together, and you play off each other nicely. Can't wait to watch. Thanks, guys. Tyler.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for giving us a listen.
Congratulations on your shiny new PS4 copy of Rage 2.
Yes, you'll be getting 12 digits in the email. So look out for it. Look out.
Were you able to get a code for it? A digital code?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird because I couldn't get one for Days Gone.
You can get it. You can get them off Sony's website.
See, I tried. I went and looked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was weird. So we just did PSN cards. So they got an extra like $10 to cover the tax.
Wow.
But whatever. Well, that's cool. Awesome.
All right. Well, congratulations, Tyler.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Tyler.
Enjoy it. I hear it is very good.
I heard it's pretty good too. Heard it's got a little Doom flavor in there, which Doom is good.
I mean, if I could flavor anything with Doom, I would do that.
Would you flavor your chicken with Doom?
I would eat some Doom chicken. Yes, I would. Yes, I most certainly would. Speaking of flavoring, we made a homemade pizza this week.
How
you tell?
Oh, so good.
What'd you put on it?
Well, just pepperoni and black olives, but like
good.
nothing like complicated.
Did you make the crust yourself?
No.
Ooh.
No. We go to Tony Roni's for that. We'll get a large dough ball and we'll do everything else.
Right.
I love having a partner that is just an amazing cook. Like she is phenomenal in the kitchen. Like, and this isn't like a make me a sandwich situation, because I try and help where I can. But
I don't know. It kind of sounds like it, Matt.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I
make my own sandwiches.
I mean, oh, really? Really,
No,
Corey?
No.
Really, Corey? Because every time I have to tell Reba you said that, she's like, you can't play with Corey anymore. But like we didn't go heavy on the sauce, but she did this. I don't know what spices she put on the crust before we put sauce on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it had this just spicy kick, like well after you hit it, and it was just like, oh, pizza has been missing this. And like, and I don't know if it's just because I usually don't like put like chili pepper or anything on top of my pizza. I'm not one of those people who puts Parmesan cheese on it. But holy shit, Matt Phillips is here.
It's a Captain Canada invasion. What?
Trump was so worried about Mexico, he didn't think about Canada.
That's right.
Remember Trump's wall is anti-climb. So
an anti-climb wall.
Not anti-dig.
Oh.
Fucking idiot.
Oh man. But yeah, so we made a really good homemade pizza this weekend, and I'm still thinking about it. This is and I did eat dinner tonight, so like I'm not hungry. I'm just.
Were you disappointed it wasn't pizza?
No, because we had breakfast for dinner, and I do like breakfast.
You didn't eat dinner?
Well, look,
He
it's.
did.
I mean, wouldn't your breakfast for dinner just be breakfast since you get up late?
Yes,
But
yes,
somebody
but like,
else was having breakfast for dinner, and
yes, as well. So I default to the orientation of the person who made the food.
that's a
That's
smart move. I
I
think
had
that's
some bloody steak for dinner.
Good for you.
Very
Steak,
good.
Hey,
delicious,
man.
nice.
Oh, it was. Whoever
Say
invented
hello.
the cast iron skillet
Oh,
should get an award, man.
yeah.
I had chicken and salad for dinner.
Awesome.
It's been my dinner for like 6 months now.
It's all right though.
You
Chicken
should
and salad.
maybe
You can
dinner.
switch over to like pork chops or something. Or,
See, I don't eat pork. I don't do that. I don't know why. I just don't.
Okay.
I'm weird. I'm sorry.
Are you one of those
Too
people
many
who, like,
too many stomachs in a pig.
No.
Do you eat like sausage or bacon or anything like that?
I eat turkey sausage.
We don't dig on swine, man. It's really like pumpkin pie.
I eat turkey bacon and I eat turkey sausage.
I just want to.
I prefer birds, I guess.
That's cool.
Ultra.
I love how Moose just note for note did Pulp Fiction, and all of us talked over him while he did it. I just want to say I'm impressed, Moose. You did that well.
I didn't. I wouldn't have gotten that reference.
Yeah,
so. Sorry,
I
Moose.
All right.
I just want him to know that I picked up on it.
Have you never seen Pulp Fiction?
Nope.
Oh, don't do this, Phillips.
We all know, like 99.9% of the time, the answer is no. Like, why do you even ask the question?
Keep going, Phillips. What else you got? What else you got in there?
Another classic movie that you've I don't know. I don't even know. I can't think
have
of
you seen They Live?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Have you seen Big Trouble in Little China?
No.
No, he hasn't seen that.
Escape from New York?
Nope.
Yeah,
Halloween?
Steve?
No.
We're gonna find
Guys,
one. We will
stop.
find one.
Just stop.
Have you
Just
seen
stop.
Friday the 13th?
Nope.
Chucky?
Nope.
I don't know what to say, man.
Predator? Have you seen Predator?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
for fuck's sake.
True Lies. You've seen
Nope.
True Lies.
No.
Rocky? Have you seen Rocky?
I've seen all. Well, I haven't seen Creed or Creed 2, but I've seen
Okay.
all the Rocky movies. I love
All right,
the Rocky
there
We
we
movies.
go.
found, we found
I-
something. We found
There we
something.
go.
I own them all.
Okay, we found something.
All right.
Have you seen Rambo?
No.
Just,
You don't need to see
Matt,
Rambo.
just
Oh yeah, you
we
do.
don't need
Yeah,
that whole
you do.
episode.
Oh
No, you
yeah,
don't.
you do.
We don't
Okay. Let's switch from movie time
Yes.
to game time, please.
The whole episode does not need to be what has.
No, this is
Well, I
fun.
haven't played any games, so I can actually speak about this.
Well, okay. Have you watched any movies?
I rewatched Cliffhanger. Yes, I did.
Why did you rewatch Cliffhanger?
Because it's fantastic. That's why.
I've never seen it.
Fantastic.
It is
It's a good
fantastic.
90s movie.
And they're remaking it with a female lead.
Oh, great. It'll probably have more depth of character because that movie sucked. I
No,
hated
that movie's what you call amazing.
Yeah.
That's not a movie. That's a film.
I actually
Understand?
did go see a movie this past weekend.
Endgame?
I did.
Pikachu.
I
Oh,
did see Avengers Endgame.
What'd you think of it? Did you cry?
As a casual fan of these movies, and some of them I really enjoy a lot, and some of them I don't enjoy at all. I thought it was a pretty extraordinary achievement on how they kind of wrapped things up while leaving it open for whatever's next. I really thought it was really well done. It was a little emotional, I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple parts in there where I thought, wow, I can't believe they did that, or I like the way they ended this character's arc or whatever. I thought it was well done. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely. As someone who is hit or miss with the Marvel movies, I thought this was definitely in the top tier. As someone who thought Infinity War was extremely boring, I thought this one was like really, really well done.
Cool.
That's all I have to say. I don't want to spoil it because people still watching it.
I watched 2 movies this weekend, but they're movies that no one cares about.
What movies were they, Matt? I care.
No, you don't.
I do care. Tell me.
You do not.
Tell me your hopes and dreams.
My hopes and dreams. Well,
I'm just kidding. Don't tell me all that. We don't have time for that. Do we have
no,
time for that?
No, we don't have time for that. No,
You're too old for hopes and dreams. Let's go.
I watched a movie from the 40s called The Third Man. See, it's black and white. It's a film noir, and it's amazing. One of Orson Welles' finest performances, in my opinion. And then I also watched a Jean-Luc Godard movie from the 60s called Masculine Feminine, and it's really good. So we can move on from that. Game time.
Yeah.
Game time.
Yeah, let's do this instead.
Who wants to start? I could start if you want.
Yeah, you start.
I platinum Division 2. Woo!
Congratulations.
I'm sad to be like finally moving on to something else, because like I really like that. I'm waiting. Hopefully we get details on when the raid's going to come out this week, because I'm still interested in that. And then I started Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Ooh.
Now,
Thoughts?
well, my thoughts are game of the year has kind of has its front runner for me.
Okay.
That being said, I think there are some things folks have to know when going into this. And while I thought Christian did really well covering a lot of it on Nerds Gone Platinum, the episode he was on, it's a lot more complex than saying you can't play this like a Dark Souls game. You can't play this like Bloodborne either. And the fact that this is kind of a hard turn in a way for From Software makes me love it. And I'm actually thinking like by the end of this, like this could be right there with like Demon Souls. This game is so difficult and fun, and each encounter, and it doesn't matter if you get stronger or not, each encounter is a reminder that you need to be on your shit. Like you need to be paying the fuck attention. It's not like when, you're just grinding out that boss and you're just running through to try and get there as quickly as possible. The enemies here do not let you do that. And I think there are AI choices in this game that are just fantastic to see work as well as go against. And this is a far more combat focused game than From Software has ever done, or at least From Software in my experience with them. Because like I didn't play Armored Core, I played 3D Dot Game Heroes. I've not played any of their further back titles, but the only way I can really describe it is I'm going to make a Game of Thrones reference. In the first season, Arya is given lessons on dancing. At least that's what her instructor refers to it as. What she's actually learning is how to fight with a sword. That little metaphor is the only way I can even think about Sekiro. It is not you go against an enemy with a weapon and you have a sword. It's like you kind of have to watch. Despite there being obvious grunts in the game, like they're almost not grunts because they can overpower you. They can fuck your day up. And I can honestly see a lot of people who got into the Souls games and even Bloodborne coming at this and bouncing off pretty hard before they've gotten to a boss, believe it or not. Because I fought a whole bunch of characters that were like named and with health bars, but apparently those are just mini bosses, and they fuck your day up. And they're almost never alone. And yeah, I could talk a lot more about it, but I also don't want to reveal too much about it. I want to kind of stay away from spoilers if anybody's still doing that. I will say this: the addition of the verticality to it. While I like the addition, I like why they did it, because like how like Moose in Dark Souls, how you can like take shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think the verticality is the shortcut.
Okay, so you can go up and over if you want to.
Yeah. Now there are a couple areas where there are enemies that will perfectly have no problem engaging you as you're trying to go around. As you're trying to just make that beeline over rooftops for the boss. And they are fun to fight. I don't think there's a lot of trolley difficulty in this, like there was in Souls games.
How many bosses you in? To count.
Well, there are 2 people that I've fought, defeated, and earned trophies for.
Okay.
But every time I've come up against someone who's had a name pop up and a health bar, like I've probably fought more than 10.
Okay.
There are a lot of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of mini bosses I know in the game.
And they're like each one, despite like the familiarities, like you'll see there's one you see that he's like the first real I think he's the first real one of those in the game. He's a I guess a samurai with red armor. Mm-hmm. I beat the first one pretty handily. I took him apart in a way that I was just like, huh, I think I could play this game. And then I get to another one and he just decimates me, like attempt after attempt after attempt. And a lot of the time you kind of have to ninja your way around the arena to take out all the supporting staff before you deal with him. And and he'll if you aggro him, he doesn't really let up. And then I did fight the dude that was in the big reveal, the guy that spit the weird mist onto the sword.
Yeah, the poison is a
yeah. His name is Juzuo the Drunkard.
Nice.
And he's a fun fight. In fact, none of the fights I've been in have been particularly bad. Like all of them have had a tenseness about them that is just very palpable and invigorating. And like overnight I had multiple war cries of victory moments, to the point where Bagel was like, I would stand up and go, yes, and then Bagel would sit up next to me like all kind of like timid with his ears back, and I'd be like, you did so good, Bagel. I'm pretty sure you probably have the same experience with Archer, unless he just sleeps.
No.
But Sekiro is probably the prettiest From Software game I've played, and I am enjoying the absolute shit out of it. It is phenomenal, and I can't wait to keep playing. Like while we were eating tonight, I actually just talked to Reba about it for like 20 minutes, and she's like, and she's tired from work, and I appreciate that she just sort of lets me talk about it rather than goes, hey, games are stupid. Can we talk about something important? And the reality is either I talked about how good Sekiro is or I talked about how bad last night's episode of Game of Thrones was. So,
did you get your guide figured out?
Yes.
Nice.
And I'm actually surprised I've not opened it yet. I looked at it. I looked at the replacement copy I got, and it was damn near pristine.
Nice.
So I didn't feel the need to open it like I did the first one. And the first one had like spine damage. Oh, it was bad. I think someone took a knife to it at some point before putting it in a package.
Did it come in a box?
The second one did. The first one did not.
Mine came in a box, and it only had some damage to the top of the spine. I was like, there's no need.
No, when mine opened, like the binding like split.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh, great. They bound this with Elmer's glue and rubber bands. Fantastic. If you are interested in Sekiro, try it. I will not be shocked at people bouncing off after a certain point because it has tested my patience. This morning, I got to an area where I either had to fight a mini boss, and that mini boss like totally ate my lunch like 5 or 6 times. I'm like, okay, I'm going to look around this area a little more, just see if I'm missing anything. I found the boss of the area.
Nice.
And if the mini boss is a prick, the boss is like double prick. So I'm like stuck between prick and double prick. So I'm like, all right, I guess I have to go fight the prick. Couple more attempts, finished him, and felt really good about it. Went after double prick a couple of times. I'm like, you know what? I think I need to step back because I am fatigued and I'm not focused as I should be. So I will step back, go get some sleep, and now I want to go back. Like I was legit thinking of reasons to call out of work tonight so I could go play more, but I didn't. So, but yeah, Sekiro is really good. Who wants to go next? Everybody at once. Fantastic. Great.
I'll go next.
Corey, you go next. You were gone last week.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really like playing a lot of games, to be honest. You know, my wife's birthday was last weekend, and you know, we celebrated that, and then kind of took some time for myself to do some personal kind of creative things, and kind of, you know, and I'm aware of the comments that there weren't any podcast breakouts the last few weeks, but you know, I don't really want to do that anymore, to be honest with you. So
too much time.
So yeah, I actually like the last couple of weeks, I almost forgot to edit the show because I was just like not worrying about it, you know? So, I mean, last night I was editing the show at like 10 o'clock and then and then the podcast, like the audio version posted it like I posted it like normal, but then it was like, oh, February 28th has a new podcast for you. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I had to go in and fix that. But
February 28th, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
You got here by May. Fantastic. February 28th.
Yeah. So yeah. We celebrated her birthday. We introduced my child to frozen yogurt, which was I don't know if that was such a great idea, but she loves it though, so I guess it's fine, right? It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Should be all right.
It's fine.
Next time you give her a spoon of it, she gnaws your hand off. It'll be great.
Yeah,
that's it. Where?
I was gonna say wear like the gloves for like cutting stuff so that she her teeth don't do damage. You don't lose a finger.
Get one of those shark suits.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, get some chainmail. You could get some chainmail gloves.
Oh man,
Sana, it's time for Riley's dessert. Okay, I'll get the armor.
Who's wearing the armor this time? Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3. Not it.
But I don't know. The last few days have been kind of stressful though because my PC died, so that was fun to try to get some sort of solution for that. So, but what I have been
silence for your PC earlier.
Huh?
I had a moment of silence for your PC earlier. I was upset about it.
Yeah, it's still sitting here. It's a motherboard problem, I guess. So I really don't know what's wrong with it, to be honest with you. But people a lot smarter than I am.
Top men are on the case.
Yeah.
we got the best in there.
They got us working in shifts. I'll just check with the boys down at the crime lab.
Around the clock.
And 4 new detectives to your case. Big Lebowski's such a great movie that Corey's not seen.
You're right. I hear it's good.
It's fantastic. What have you played, Corey?
But what I played a little bit more Mortal Kombat 11. I played a lot of Tetris the last 2 weeks. That's like, I know that game, a lot of people think that game is kind of stressful, but for me, it's like super relaxing to play Tetris.
That's like me and Bloodborne.
Like comfort food.
Yeah.
I play a little bit more Borderlands. Making my way through that. Let's see, what else did I play? This weekend I jumped back into Sea of Thieves with Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they added a bunch of stuff for their anniversary update, which is like, maybe you should have just waited a year and put this out when the game came out. But you know,
Fishing looks pretty good, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's also a 15 mission story mode that you can repeat, and it's different every time, I guess. I don't know. But we jumped in and we played for a few hours this weekend. That game is really relaxing, too. So found some treasure, fought some skeletons. I died by explosive barrel. That was a good time.
It's always a good time.
Yeah. So apparently when you shoot the explosive barrels, I mean, they explode, but they also kill you if you're too close. So
that's how explosive barrels work.
My bad.
I mean, it's been that way
since... I thought I was farther away than I was.
That's like me shooting the mines in Borderlands and getting knocked down, and Jason being like, "You're not far enough away, man." But I think
he squares a little bit more than that.
He does. There's a couple for fuck's sakes.
But
well, at least it's not Phil, because Phil's be like, "Who are you, Keel in Division 1?"
What's your title? Your title has been taken. You are no longer Leroy Jenkins. That title has been stolen. It's not like I took it from you and gave it to somebody else. This person just outright just jacked it. Okay, and that would be Lee. I played last weekend.
I mean, his name is Lee, so we can give that to him.
I played with Lee and Becky, and that man went down more times than a fluffer on a porno set. But it was rough. Becky be like, "You're dead again?" And I'm just like, I can't. Like, I don't have enough turrets and enough healing drones to save you.
Eventually, you have to do hard love and just leave them dead to teach them a lesson.
I know.
You revive them, they just keep doing it.
That's true. You do have a valid point. You do.
Time is precious.
Anything else you're playing, Corey?
I played something else too, but I forget. It's been a long week because like I've been training in a new job, so that's
congratulations.
Oh, you can save that for a while.
Congratulations later.
So I've been like really trying to worry about that and trying just to get it right and everything. So, but I mean that's kind of it. I've been getting up at 4:30 every morning and going to bed at like 9. So it's been I'm real tired. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I could imagine. That would wear me out.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not really complaining. It's just like it's really hard to get up that early when you're not used to it. Is all.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's hard to get up that early even when you are used to it.
This is true.
That's why my phone has 15 different alarms.
Yeah, I have.
505, 509. Like
That's how my phone looks right now too.
All the way till 6 o'clock. I have like 15 alarms from 5 to 6.
Like
I hate it, man. I hate it. I hate waking up.
Like I don't like waking up as much as y'all don't like waking up, but I just hit snooze. Like I don't turn the alarm off. Like I only have one alarm.
Well,
I lie. I technically have two alarms. I have an alarm for Monday and Tuesday when I go in early to leave early, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I have another alarm because I go in at 8. And I don't like. I have no problem just hitting snooze and maybe rolling over for a little bit.
Nah.
Like I don't.
I've thought about adding a second alarm just for those times where I accidentally hit off instead of snooze.
Smart.
That would be the reason I would do it.
Yeah.
But I also found the world's most, like back when iPhones first came out and you could go into iTunes and create your own ringtones with MP3s if you knew how to do it.
I think you can still do that.
I haven't tried it in years, so I don't know. But there's a song by a guy named Cornelius called "Thank You for the Music." It opens with 30 some seconds of the most annoying cacophony of sounds, and I created that as a ringtone specifically because no matter what, it would wake me up. And if it didn't, and if it for some reason it didn't wake me up, it would wake up whoever's near me to say, "Hey," exactly, and then I'm up. So yeah, if you want,
I use music to wake up now. Like I set my alarm and then I have my Alexa wake me up to music, so that actually gets me up.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, but the rest of the house listens to Slayer with me at 5:30 in the morning.
Nice.
every day, hell awaits.
Oh, it randomizes it. Alexa, she knows me so well.
She gets you.
He's gonna have a good day today. Here you go, honey.
Here, rain in blood today, Phillips.
That's a good one.
Okay, who's next?
Who's next? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Pick one.
Phillips, you said you haven't played anything, right?
Not really. No, all I played is World of Warcraft, and we don't have to talk about that game. It's 15 years old.
But you have played something, so you lied.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing. Right now I'm trying to get because World of Warcraft for me is like the game I've been playing on and off for 15 years, more than 15 years because I played the beta too. So I take breaks from it just because when I do play it, I don't want to play anything else.
Right.
So I've taken breaks before of like 2-3 years at a time where just I hop back in, I feel the addiction's still there, and then I hop back out. So I'm working on an achievement right now to get 25,000 PvP kills. So I'm like 100 kills away from that.
Jesus.
Nice work.
Oh, dude, there's guys with like 150,000 kills.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
They play it nonstop. So I have to do it in moderation. The pull's just too strong. So I've been doing a lot of PvP lately. I'll hop in, play a couple battlegrounds, hop back out. But there's a big patch coming out pretty soon, which I'm excited for. So I've been kind of just playing more, getting back into the swing of it. But yeah, that's all I've been playing lately is just PvP battlegrounds. They're still a lot of fun.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
And then there was Moose.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, sir?
Division 2. Surprise.
Nice.
So I think I kind of like dialed it back on Borderlands. I don't want to get worn out of it. So call it quits on pre-sequel for now. And logged in on Friday, I think it was. Yeah, Friday. Jeff and I rolled through the last stronghold I need to do before the end game, like the story mission, the last story mission before you start before the world turns over to tiers. And so we did that, and then I slowly, we did a couple missions and called it a night. But so I beat Division 2, which was nice, and I'm at World Tier 2 right now.
Nice.
So I'm just running through that, having some fun with it. Just having a blast. It's just a really good game.
It really is.
Like a good shooter looter. So like you, like right now I'm just kind of like working on main missions and trying to get, to the next world tier, but get better gear and I need to start researching and figuring out like what gear I want to look for. So like right now, like I love the M60, the light machine guns. I love light machine guns. So I have that, and then I use like an assault rifle that I bounce back and forth between. And then I just traded out the rifle. I traded out a rifle for the shotgun. So I was like, I'm gonna try the shotgun for a while for up close and personal stuff, and it seems to be helping against the Black Tusk a little bit better than the rifle does. So I think I'm gonna switch to a shotgun for that position. But I'm still running with the healing drone and the turret, mainly because it's also helpful in solo. So I haven't switched to flame yet, but it's good. It's a fun game, like I said. So just want to get back to it and try and get to a point where I'll be ready for the raid. I do want to get the platinum, and we're trying to go back, like, because Borderlands derailed all three of us, me, Jeff, and Jason, and so it's like we need to get back to the co-op challenge and figure things out. And that was the game we picked when it came out, and so that should be our next platinum. But so we're kind of working on that. And then I played some Don't Starve together.
Okay.
Saturday night with some fellow Twitch streamers.
That's a great game.
Dude, yeah, Don't Starve together is fun. It's like stressful, but it's like it's a lot of fun. We had 4 players in it, and it was a lot of fun running around, just trying to get resources, figuring out what you had to do. Yeah. We made the sad mistake of setting up shop in the game, like our home base, like right just north of like a nest of spiders, and so they would always like come into the and so finally one of the characters' name is Willow, and she carries a lighter on her, and when she gets nervous, she accidentally lights stuff on fire. And my one friend has lit the camp on fire, and they didn't figure it out for a while until they like looked up the character, and so like she just went down there and started lighting the nests on fire to get rid of the spiders. But it was fun, like, and you could play it for a while. Like we played like 3-4 hours.
Nice.
I think we got to day like 20. I think we all wiped at like 27, so we rolled back the server to like 23. And tried to redo it over again, because I died of starvation once, and that was just the thing that sent us all down. Because then at day 23, around that time, winter starts, and so if you don't have a I forget what the stone is called, but it's basically a warming stone. Like you sit it in a fire and it keeps you warm. If you don't have that with you, like you freeze to death. So I was like trying to run from the respawn all the way to our camp, and I died. Like I could like see the camp on my screen as I died, and I was like, "Well, that sucks." So then it's like a 2-person run to go out there, get the person to respawn, get them some gear so they survive the walk back to camp, and then trying to get so you have like three things you have to keep going in the game. You have your hunger, so you have to eat stuff. You have your sanity, so you have to do things to keep your sanity healthy. Otherwise, like nightmare creatures will get you. And then you have your health. And as you die, your total health gets ticked down. So like you might have a whole heart of health, but if you die, it's like maybe cut down by like a quarter. And so I was basically at 1/4 of health, like the vast majority of the game, because I died a bunch. I don't know. I was just out there running around being an idiot this time. I should have been a lot smarter. Usually I'm the guy that runs around and finds the cat coons and kills them and brings the meat back to base so I can feed everybody.
Right.
But they're just.
That wouldn't be you, man.
I was off the reservation. All right, I let my team down. I admit that. If they're listening, I'm sorry, and I will do better next time. I did not bring my A game to Don't Starve Together, and next time I will. So, but it's a good game. It's a fun game.
Oh, it's a great game. That was one of the. I remember when that first came to PS4, and a lot of people were like, "What the fuck is this?" And then they would try it because it had been on Steam before.
Mm-hmm.
And then when people were trying, they were like, "This game's actually really, really good."
Yeah.
And it is a fun game, man. And the support for that game is incredible.
Yeah, they just put out
community for that game.
DLC.
Yeah, if you look up the community for that game and just the content for it, it's insane. A game that a lot of people haven't even heard of, right?
Yeah. And there is a sister game. Well, first it started with Don't Starve, and then they put out Don't Starve Together. So Don't Starve is just the single player game.
Mm-hmm. Don't Starve Together is like co-op.
Co-op, yeah, with I think up to 6 people you could do it on PS4. So you could have a bunch of people in there.
Is that the same developer that did Smoke and Sacrifice too?
I don't think so. It's Klei, Klei. They did the
They did Invisible Ink. Yeah, Clay's a good developer.
Yes. Yeah, and then they did that other game, the side-scrolling beat 'em up. What's its name? I don't know, but anyways, good game, fun game. I highly recommend
Can they do
it.
Samurai Gun? Is that what that is?
No, I don't think it is. I'll look it up. Well, I can look it up real quick, but anyways, lots of fun. And then I didn't get to play it, but I downloaded it last night. Shakedown Hawaii.
Oh, they did Mark of the Ninja.
Yeah, so they did Mark of the Ninja. Shank. It was
Shank
and Shank 2. That was the name of the game I was thinking about. Yeah, so they did Mark of the Ninja. They've got, it looks like they got a new game called Grifflands coming out soon, which might be on Steam. Hopefully it makes it to consoles. That would be awesome. And what's nice is Sony's doing a good job. Like, I think now that we're kind of at the tail end of the life cycle, Sony did a great job of saying, hey, it's backwards compatible. So now all these developers who are putting time into their games this late in the cycle could be like, they can like rest assured that if they put their game out this late, it'll still have legs in the next gen because people could just take the game with them, instead of being like PS3 to PS4, or even when it was Xbox 360 went backwards compatible faster than PS4 did, but if at all. But it's nice to know, like, oh, you can pick up a game and still play it, moving forward into the next gen. So that'll be nice. Like, so hopefully it shows up. I think it will. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Usually it's usually on sale. Like when they have the sales, PSN, sometimes more than not, you can find it on sale for a relatively good price. So, and then what's their name? Guys that did Below,
Capybara.
Yeah, they did a DLC for Don't Starve Together, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, they did a DLC for them. So Shipwrecked, or maybe it was one of the two games. One of the Don't Starve games got a DLC called Shipwrecked that they did for them. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what I've been playing. It's been fun. It's been a good week, productive week. Actually, beat a game this week. That feels good.
I'm really proud of you, Moose.
Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that.
I don't remember the last game I beat.
I beat one game this year. Proud of myself for that.
That's good, man.
I might be around that. Oh no, I beat more than that this year, but not many.
Well, you played Detroit Becomes Human, didn't you? So did you beat that?
Me?
Yeah, play that.
I've played. I haven't beat it. No.
Okay, so you were just playing it. Okay.
I have. Okay. Yeah, I might have to restart it. I liked what I played, but
oh wait, no, that was last year, wasn't it?
Last year or this year?
I think it was last year.
Detroit came out last year.
I'm wrong. Yeah, it was early last year.
I get distracted. I'm easily distracted, like a cat when they see something shiny, and so stuff catches my attention, and I forget the toy I was playing with before. So that's the nice thing about backlogs.
Yeah,
you can always go back to them.
So we are at an interesting crossroads this week, gentlemen. 20 questions did not happen last week because it was just Moose and I. I don't want to just spring that on us this week if we're not prepared.
I think what we should do, my vote is to finish the question we missed last week. Do some questions and
Yeah.
set it up for next week.
Okay.
I agree with Moose.
I think that would be good because then we're all not sitting here trying, like someone's not trying to think of a game.
Right.
We'll all be in the right frame of mind next week.
Right. Now, Phillips, it's your turn to pick a game, sir.
For
20 questions.
For right now?
No,
next week. Jesus Christ, it's like he doesn't even listen to us.
He yells about us not listening. And then what does he do?
Doesn't listen.
What does he do?
What was that?
Exactly.
Yeah, for next week. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Let me load up Steam right now.
Write it down on your little notepad.
Do you want me to send you a friendly reminder on Sunday night?
You think I'm joking? My notepad has a friggin' dog on it. You see?
That's amazing with headphones. Like that's
yeah.
awesome.
My mother got it for me because she said the dog looks like me, and I didn't know if it was a compliment or not.
That would have been best. She didn't tell you, did she? She just.
No, that's what she said. She said I was at the dollar store and I saw this and I thought I'd get it because the dog reminds me of you. And I said, "Well, thank you very much, Mom."
I'd be like, "Thanks, Mom."
That's what are you supposed to say? I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
That's awesome.
All right. So with that being said, we're going into listener questions like we do every show. Last week, Moose and I got a bit didactic on one of the questions. I think it might have been Deshaun's because that usually happens. And we overtalked our time, so we're doing Sean Nichols this week. Sean Nichols says, "Hi, I found your show from the Rage 2 giveaway and thought I'd write in. How many games have you bought and never played? What does your collection look like?" Well,
let me tell you about the games I've bought and not played.
I mean,
no, let's not. It's too big. There's too many games I've purchased, and it's even worse now with like digital games going on sale all the time. I'm like, I'll play that someday, maybe. And just go, boop.
Ballpark, take a guess at how many games I have on PS4.
300.
More. He has more. He has way more. I think you're.
Hey, what is guessing if you're just gonna tell him?
You're coming close to the 500 mark, aren't you?
I'm well over 500.
Are you over 500? I knew it was.
Well, I lost. If I was a betting man, I would have lost.
Yeah.
Is this the Price is Right rules?
Are you? So you're at 800 games. Is that what I was understanding there, Moose?
Yes,
600. Okay.
This many.
But it includes all the PS Plus games.
Yeah, so, like I
think that's like 180 in of itself throughout the 4 years since I've owned one.
Yeah, so. I think mine's well beyond that, like PS Plus wise.
Moose heard the industry was slowing down, and he took it upon himself to single-handedly reverse that.
So. Like, I don't know how many games I've bought, but I could probably wager that more than 50% of them I've never played.
Yeah.
And that's being generous.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like you and I had a discussion where we were both like, we're not buying any games next year. Yeah. Just going to play the backlog. And then you sit there and you look at like what's going to come out next year and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's not like I told Jeff and Jason that, and they were both like, "Good luck with that, buddy."
Yeah, that never works, man. That never works because there's always some game you've never heard of that came out today, and you're like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing!" Yeah. And then you have that self-imposed rule. So, I mean, that never works. I've tried to do that too, and then you just binge.
I mean, I like
it's better than spending the money on crack.
True.
Heroin or meth, right?
It's kind of the same thing.
It's not kinda. It is exactly the same thing. It just doesn't destroy.
But at least you eventually, do the crack or the meth. Maybe this is worse.
Does this mean one day when you make that wrong purchase, your house is going to blow up?
No, my wife's going to kill me.
I I don't actually buy that many games. I just looked this up while we were doing this. I opened my Steam account November 20th, 2004, and
that's the day after my birthday.
I only have 346 games on Steam. I have not played the majority of them, but
so
I don't
only 346.
Yeah, but hang on.
Yeah, but that's since 2004.
That's 2004. Moose has 600 games on PS4, and that came out in 2013.
But still, the fact that you're saying I only have 300 games.
I only have 346. However, I just took a look also while we were doing this. On Humble Bundle, I have 9 pages of unredeemed keys, and on each page there's 20 games.
And what do you got on PS4 though? Too, you got a lot of games on PS4.
I've got like 300-400 on PS4.
Yeah, okay. So you have it split between 2 platforms. I'm on 1 platform. So don't you come at me, motherfucker.
I wasn't coming at you, okay?
And how many? Well, hang on.
Is this the dick swinging hill you guys want to die on?
Like, this is you fuck with the moose, you get the horns, okay? Like, this is how he defends himself. That's exactly how he defends himself, man. All the time.
I don't even want to bring up the fact that he has a Nintendo Switch with digital games on it.
Nobody asked you. I just like
that. See, because your PS4 library doesn't show all your Vita only games.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
All right.
Look. Let's get back to the question. Let's just get back to the question. We've all bought a lot of games.
It became an intervention for Moose very quickly.
Only slightly less of those. Only slightly less than that amount is the amount of games we've not played.
Yeah.
But I think it's easier though with the digital marketplaces to just purchase games that.
It is.
That not to play it because
Well,
it doesn't help either that the stores have advertisements like every like other panel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and now that this gen consoles have embraced the Steam-like style sales, where like you can get a game for like less than $5, and you're like, yeah, I'm glad I went it. Like, okay, for instance, this week Rage 2 comes out, which we just gave away. I will probably wait to buy that when it's like $5, because if it had co-op, I would pick it up. But since it has no co-op, I have like, I'm not interested in it enough to pick it up. I've got to play Days Gone. I got to play Sekiro. I got to play Division 2.
Plus knowing like having Game Pass, like that game will probably be on Game Pass in like 6 months to a year.
Yeah, for Xbox people, which I think is something Sony needs to implement, that type of thing with the next gen. Like they got to have something that's comparable to it, or maybe I don't know, roll it up under PS Now and kind of revamp that service to an extent. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. Like they could have tiers.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what they do. But Microsoft is pretty much content, which is fine. It's probably, in all honesty, probably how they're going to win, but they're content with like having their games on like everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're trying to put Xbox Live on, not trying to, I think they are on iOS and Android and tablet and probably, Switch. Like you can earn some achievements through your games on Switch if you own them on both or whatever. And so like they're just completely annihilating the whole need for a console war. And so Sony just needs to come out with, something comparable as far as like we have the Game Pass. They're getting EA Origin now, finally, which they should have had from the get-go. They need to stop, like Sony needs to stop taking the Nintendo approach when Sony came out and Nintendo had an approach where they were just like, we're the the king of the hill, and it's just like you need to not behave like that because that's how you're gonna die. Like that's how you're gonna kill your brand. But whatever.
Well, I think there's more potential for Sony to kill its brand that way than there is for Nintendo.
It's true.
Just because Nintendo had an ironclad library of games of specifically first party stuff that people would always want to play. Almost to the point of like, even if it was bad.
Well, but it was rare. Like they did a great job there for our longest time where like it was tough finding a game of theirs that was not good. Like we all have our gripes
about
the Zelda games,
or Kirby or Yoshi or
pretty
whatever.
much pick up any Zelda game and it's a good game.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's rare that you're going to be able to do that with one of Sony's games, although they're getting better at it now. Where like God of War, first one was great, second and third I hear were great, and then the recent one was awesome. So they're starting to hit those milestones with their IP to where like every time you see it come out, it's going to be a solid game. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. So
sideways, but
well, that's okay. So we've bought a lot of games and played not very many of them. That's your short answer, Mr. Nichols. Next up, Deshaun Malone brings a very topical question.
Surprise.
What are y'all watching on TV, streaming services, etc.? Or etc.
I'll go first because mine will be the quickest. I've just been watching some like not series stuff. I watched the latest Kevin Hart stand-up on Netflix, which was good. I watched The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson, which was good, about the Rangers that were hired to take down Bonnie and Clyde. That was a very good movie. Slow burn, but it was well worth it. And then watched The Ark, which was a Netflix movie, ARQ. We just watched that Saturday night. That was pretty entertaining. It's got Steve Amell's brother, the guy that plays Arrow on the Arrow WB series.
Okay.
And then it's got the chick from Jessica Jones, the blonde lawyer. Can't remember her name on that show. I can't even remember her name in real life. But anyways, that was pretty entertaining. A good take on time, like time loops and stuff like that. So that was a fun movie. But what I'm really waiting for this year is the next Jack Ryan season, which with John Krasinski. I hope that comes out. Like, I hope they're doing it. I hope it's going to be like yearly. Like, it came out, I think, July or August last year. So that time this year. I'm sorry, Phillips. What was that?
No, I was saying, yeah, it was last year.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I think it was around mid to like late summer last year. So I'm excited for it. I loved it.
That was a good show.
I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here. But that's what I've been watching.
Phillips, Corey?
Well, I mean, I can go. I don't watch a lot of shows or movies or anything. I do watch a lot of YouTube, and going down the YouTube rabbit hole is one of my favorite things to do. And I never know what I'm going to watch. So that's how this week I ended up watching this channel called
Nerds Gone Rogue.
The name of this channel is Steve 1989 MRE Info, and this guy eats military meal replacements, army meal replacements. So I watched this guy eat a meal from 1944, and like he opens up the tin from 1944, and I watched that all week. It was the best. He ate one from like, the Boer War, I think. I don't know how he's still alive.
Wow.
He eats it all, and he loves it. Like, if you look on his channel, one from 1943, and he just opens it up, and he's like a connoisseur, and he'll like hold the crackers and be like, "Oh, they discontinued the salt on crackers in 1966. I don't know why they did that." And he's he's drinking wine, like a sommelier, right? And he'll smell it. He goes through the whole thing. He like shakes it to hear. Oh, it's amazing. And so that's all I watched all week. It was the best. And you've got to hear how he describes it. It's like Gordon Ramsay describing like a filet mignon. It's the best.
Wow.
It goes into such detail. I'm pimping out his channel because it was so entertaining. And Mike
Garcia in the chat says it's probably healthier.
All I've watched. It's the best.
It is probably healthier than what we got nowadays.
I like going down the YouTube rabbit hole too, but I always end up in some weird alt-right problematic positions when I do it. It gets
recommended channels are concerning, Kill.
It gets really it doesn't even start as like a recommendation. Like I'll start watching something like sports related or something because I like sports history a lot, or I'll go start from like Polyphonic where they're really deep diving on a song, or Trash Theory who talks about the histories of like bands that don't get talked about a lot. And then it just ends up, such and such destroys such and such because they are a libtard. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to see why this.
Oh, you don't go into the comment section, do you?
No. That'll be the title. No, I'm not going to the comment section. Please.
No. You can't type into the comment section.
Please, no. And then like every so often I'll watch. I don't agree a lot with the content of the show, but like sometimes if you watch like if I'm watching like a Joe Rogan episode with someone that I am interested in on it, that channel specifically leads to like alt-right real quick. And it's real weird. I'm not saying I'm not
to the actual channel.
No. Just like when you're watching the video and then it says,
suggested videos down. Yeah, I can see that because then you'll get like clickbait stuff.
Yeah,
it so and so destroys.
I saw someone describe it perfectly that Joe Rogan is basically Oprah for men.
Yeah. Oprah for white men. It's Oprah for white men.
Yeah,
and that's 100% accurate. And my YouTube algorithm is like super fucked up just because that one time I decided I'm gonna watch Louder with Crowder. Biggest fucking regret of my life. That guy sucks. But yeah, YouTube gets real weird real fast. What else are you watching on YouTube, Phillips?
I watched a guy camp out in a waterproof hammock in the woods.
And my wife could have used that this weekend. It rained.
Dude, I love that shit. I like watching the guys go into the backwoods and they like catch a trout and grill it up right there. This guy has a channel called Firebox Stuff. I love this stuff. I love YouTube. It's the best. It's so much fun. And so I think that's all I really watched. And I watched a couple camping ones because of the guy eating military surplus meals. And that's really all I watched. And I watch a lot of health and fitness stuff because I love bodybuilding. So I watch a lot of bodybuilding channels too. And that was it for this week.
Cool. Corey?
Usually I just watch whatever my wife turns on. I don't.
90 Day Fiance.
It's been that. Not recently, but it has been that. Sometimes it's Teen Mom. Sometimes it's Real Housewives.
None of which are real, but okay.
Wow. Fact. But we've been watching this show called Catastrophe on Amazon. It's like a, I don't really know how to explain it. It's a comedy, and it's about this guy who goes overseas for business, and he ends up sleeping with this woman and gets her pregnant. So he ends up moving across the pond to like marry her and have this kid. Like they really like each other. It's not like it was like it was kind of like a wedding. It was kind of like a one night stand that turned into like a week long whatever. And they really liked each other and kept in touch and whatever. And then like found out she was pregnant and they moved across pond. And it's just like all these nightmare scenarios that you could imagine getting in, and they get into it. And it's really funny. It's one of the funniest shows I think I've ever watched. Each season is only like 6 episodes though, and there's only 4 seasons, but it's still really funny.
British show?
Nah, I don't know, because the lead character is American, but the show takes place in London, but the lead actress is Irish. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of show it is, but it's really
is it like a BBC show? Because a lot of their series are only like
no, it's an Amazon Prime original.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's really funny. So I was just gonna say the show has a very like, you could tell if like these two characters didn't have chemistry on screen, the show would never work. But their chemistry is just so good that it's just like, it's really funny. So.
Cool.
It is a British show.
Okay, it's a British show. To answer your question, man.
Awesome. Glad we got that.
I found that out all by myself without Moose's help whatsoever.
I was gonna say I forgot. I wanted to mention that Anna show that they just dropped, that that Amazon put out. It's an original show.
Oh yeah.
I've only caught like a little bit of it, and then
I think
I'm tired to watch the rest of this episode. So
I think that's that's based on something because I know there was a movie made of the same name. Chemical Brothers did the soundtrack.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
didn't see the movie.
So it's just about a girl who gets rescued and then is like trained and kind of like a La Femme Nikita type thing or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
So seems like it'd be really interesting. It's been getting good reviews.
I've been watching a lot of Criterion Channel stuff, so like a lot of old art movies.
Surprise, surprise.
Or like interviews with people about there's a series called Adventures in Moving Going that's on there, and it'll just be like a personality of some sort talking about how they got exposed to movies and what kind of movies they like, and semi deep dive into it. Like there's the one with Bill Hader is really good.
Nice.
The one with Guillermo del Toro is all right. But like I love the way Criterion presents movies. I also like that their channel is not just stuff from their collection. Like they'll do they're doing a lot of old Columbia Pictures film noir, which is really nice. They had White Heat on there, which is really good. As someone who is like super interested in like the craft of cinema, it's really cool to watch those. As I mentioned earlier, I watched The Third Man again. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Masculine Feminine by Jean-Luc Godard is really good. But I also understand, like Reba and I watched one. I forget what we were watching. We watched Federico Fellini's Nights of Cabiria, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't get this." And I'm like, "Well, what don't you get?" She's like, "Well, it seems like everything is just abstract." And I'm like, "Yeah, it kind of is, but it's like instead of, the actress playing, a character, she's playing like a type, and it sort of explores that type through her performance, and there's a lot of that in post World War II European cinema. There's also a lot of that in post World War cinema in general, and I love that stuff. But also, like, I'm watching Game of Thrones, and last week tonight, and
I'm watching that.
And I will say, with regard, I'm not gonna dig into it, but I'm pissed off that Game of Thrones is where it is. Like, not because it's ending, but because they took a show that was so well written and have done nothing but, at least with the last 2 episodes, they've done 2 just straight wet farts in a row. And it kind of reeks of like they don't know how to end the series, so they're just saying, we just have to end this, so we're doing it this way. And I feel like their choices are made poorly. And it kind of contrasts with, like, I'm not going to see Avengers Endgame, but I find it really interesting that the way Corey said, hey, they found a way to tie it all together and make sense, whereas these past 2 episodes have done nowhere close to the justice of making sense that this series of books or world deserves, and it's annoying.
I hear there's a Starbucks in Westeros now. Yeah,
there is. Yeah. Well, see what like also there's also an Uber, an Uber pool that gets
Uber. It's a teleportation
that gets everybody to where they need to be like super fast. Where it used to take like multiple episodes in prior seasons, they're just like yep, done. There.
I think I read an article or I even posted it. I think it was Polygon or somebody wrote it where like Game of Thrones is now a video game.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and they compared it to Skyrim, and I'm like, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never read the books.
I read the first one, and then I said I'll just watch the show.
And I'm like, I can understand people's frustration. over like this is not how the books were handled. But then again, when you try and adapt any type of written literature, when you adapt that into a movie, it's tough because it's like you have to deal with the person's imagination. You know what I mean? And sometimes people need to temper expectations, but they don't, because it's like, well, that's not how I would imagine it. It's like, yeah, you're dealing with the inside of your head. Like, it's hard to like for somebody to create something and have it look like everybody wants it to look. But I just don't. I don't have the investment with the series as far as like because of the books. But I'm feeling like after last night's episode, I'm like the last couple episodes, I was like, all right, it's okay. Like they're drawing it to a close. I can see what they're doing, but like last night, I was just like, this is just straight up trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just straight. I'm like watching it. I'm like, what is going on? Like they should have. What they should have did instead of 2 short seasons, the last 2 seasons, they should have taken it back out to like 13 episodes each and went like an extra year. They could have split up. This last year did like 6 episodes this year, and next year did 6 episodes, and had the proper ending to the series.
Yeah,
I think it's like there's the one meme out there where it's like a drawing of a horse. It's like over like the 6 episodes, and it starts out really nice in episode 1 and just progressively becomes like a stick figure. At season 8, and that is pretty much what it is.
Well, and like
can I put in for 1 second? Sorry, because that picture reminded me of something that Keel will appreciate. So someone used that same picture, and so as he's describing it, the front of the horse is beautifully drawn, and the back of it is just this like child stick figure. Someone did it for Slayer, and at the front, for the front of the horse, the well drawn part of the horse is riffs, and the back of the horse is solos, where it's just scrawled by a child.
Nice.
And it's absolutely accurate.
And with Game of Thrones, like specifically, like I only read the first book, but season 1 is note for note the first book.
Yeah.
So, and I also know that Phillips, what's the last book? Season 5?
I can't remember. I've never watched the show. I've only read the books.
How many books?
There's 4 books. 4, but
I thought there was 5.
I don't think there's 5 yet. There might be a 5th. If there's the 5th, I haven't read it. But I know that the way they handled Tyrion is quite different in the books than in the show. They're going to do subtle differences to make it more adapted for video media.
Yeah, and like Move said, that's to be accepted. But like they're also like with this season specifically, like there's also like there's a literary continuity where you can kind of see cause and effect, and like almost nothing that has happened in the last couple episodes has been really caused. It's just like they're just saying, oh, well, we're going to do all these weird left turns because that's how these characters are, rather than what has happened, rather than think about recent events, which is silly.
Well, I've also heard that he talked to him and told them how he was going to end the books. And
yeah, I mean, Martin's
told them how it was going to happen, and so they kind of like, I guess, are somewhat adapting it. But I also read an article earlier today where it was stated that it's rumored he has the other 2 titles complete. The last 2 books, there's 5. Last one came out in 2011, and for those at home or who aren't familiar with it, the first one came out in 1996. So it's been a long journey. He takes his time writing his books, which is fine, because if they're good, take your time. It's like a good game. Take your time writing, make it a good game. But anyways, there's the rumor is that, like I was saying, he's finished the books, and he told them, I won't release them until after you guys finish the series. So there's speculation that he's going to release like the next one coming up, towards the end of the year, or early next year, so people can read it. But
the risk with that is that you pass away before you finish the series, which is what happened in Wheel of Time and Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
And they used a ghostwriter to finish the last one, like based on his notes.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So that's what we watching.
70. He's 70. Sorry. Which is,
I mean, that's up there. It's probably not,
he's still got about.
It's not at death's door, but dying at 70 isn't all that unheard of.
No.
So
I hope I die at 70.
I hope I last till 70. So Nerds Gone Rogue favorite, from one Nerds Gone Rogue favorite in Deshaun to another Nerds Gone Rogue favorite in Ashley Davidson. Do you guys have any plans for the summer? What is your go-to vacation spot?
We're going to the beach.
Cool.
Next month, June.
Myrtle?
Now, fuck you. I'll try to be innocent and shit. But that little poke. All right, listen, if you're going anywhere near Myrtle, you go to North Myrtle. Okay, you don't stay in Myrtle Beach because you are insane if you do that. It's just a tourist trap. But I think we're going near Ocean Isle, so it should be fun. Should be nice. It's going to be a little bit secluded, which is fun. The house will have its own pool. The beach is ours, in front on the beachfront part. So I told my mom, I was like, I get mad at me if I don't sit on the beach all day because the sun doesn't like me.
No, I don't like it either. I like being by the beach under some shade.
Well, there's a deck, so I said I'll probably be sitting on the deck with a cooler, just reading some books or playing some Switch.
Yeah,
it's
hard to drink in the sun.
That's where I'd be.
Yeah, I've got nieces, so I'll probably hang out with them and we'll go play in the water or something, build some sandcastles and have fun. But then I'll be like, okay, I'm done. So but it's gonna be it'll be a fun trip. Other than that, no real plans. What about you guys?
I am going to go away in July. I'm not sure where yet. My last trip was New York, and I can't take extended vacations because of work because I don't get paid for taking vacation. I work construction, so we only get paid for what we work. So it's hard for me to take vacation. I can't really afford to, but I do want to do like a long-ish weekend in July or something. I'm not sure where. I'm kind of looking at. It'll be in the States somewhere.
Cool.
I'm not sure where I was looking at Maine, or there's a bunch of places I'd like to go. I could even go back to New York. I'm not sure yet, but as far as favorites, I don't have any. But maybe I'll go back to Allentown.
Come to Philly.
I'm gonna go to Allentown.
Come to Philly. We'll drive you to Allentown. It's fine.
And I'm not sure. I'll figure it out, but it will be somewhere in the States.
Cool. Corey?
Maybe I'll go see that fart machine in Baltimore.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Pin post on the website. Go check it out.
Just don't get shot or hacked by the hackers.
They like us. They like us in the States.
Well, that's true. They like it. Yeah. You didn't hear about that?
No.
That like Baltimore was like under siege from like hackers. Like they took
over, really?
Email accounts and stuff like that. Yeah, it was like really. I was like watching the news while I was at the gym. Like, what the hell is going on?
They didn't change the sounds on the fart machine, did they? Because I'm driving all the way there for that.
That's an art exhibit. I'm sure that's the least of their work.
So that explains the weird pictures of Travolta and Swordfish that I've been getting on my phone the past couple of days. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah,
I like that movie.
That movie fucking sucks. That movie sucks.
You take this shit too seriously. That's your problem. You can't enjoy a bad movie.
That's not true. I've enjoyed plenty of bad movies.
Of the record shop guys.
No, I've enjoyed plenty of bad. I could name 15 bad movies I love right now.
Revenge of the Nerds.
That's not a bad movie. That's a great movie.
All right, Corey. What are you doing for the summer?
I think we're going to the beach at some point. But like you guys, the sun does not like me very much. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Honestly, I don't really care for the beach all that much, but it makes the wife happy, so we go.
Yeah.
So,
happy life.
I don't know. For me, it's just kind of like I don't like just sitting there doing nothing. I always have to be doing something.
So you have an anxiety about it, like you're not relaxed because you're just.
Yeah, I feel like I need to be doing something, and if I'm laying there, I feel like I'm just wasting time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're going to Atlantic City again because
Nice.
her family that lives in Philadelphia is going there also. So that's
that shouldn't be that bad of a drive for you, right?
For us, it's like
10 or 12 hours actually.
I think it's like 8 or 9.
No, actually, that's okay.
You're gonna drive that with Riley?
Yeah.
Benadryl, baby.
For him.
Children's Benadryl. Like, I always say that, and people like at work. I work with females, and some of them are moms, and they just like look at me, and I'm like, I'm not serious, right? Like, I'm just messing around.
Hey, man, we are not opposed to drugging the baby to fall asleep. Okay, we fed her like a ton of children's Tylenol last night because she's.
Carefully, you admit on air, Corey.
It's fine. Because she's teething, and she went to bed at 8:00 last night or 8:30.
But that's not really drugging her. That's like helping her with her pain.
I know, but
my mother told me she used to put like sweet vermouth and sherry on my gums when I was teething.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So how much did you put on? She's like, oh, I don't know, but you fell asleep pretty quick. That's what you did.
I think my mom said she used whiskey on me when I was teething because that's what my grandpa said to do. Yeah, the 80s were a great time. The 80s were a great time.
They were. No helmets. No seatbelts. I mean, you should see the seatbelt laws now. I mean, I have to have my son in a car seat till he's like 90 pounds or something.
Yeah.
It's insane now. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's good. There's a reason why we do that, right? Like, we sitting on top of the dashboard at like when we were 6 years old, right?
Well,
it's insane in a good way.
Like growing up in the Midwest, like I would ride in the back of pickups.
Yeah, I rode around in my back pickup
without like even thinking about it. Like, oh, I'll get in the back. Great. Yeah. Now it's just like you think about how unsafe that actually is.
Especially when he's doing like 55.
Yeah.
Backcountry road, you're like, if he hits anything.
Hope you got a strong grip.
Yeah, we're toast.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good times.
I don't have actually, you know, I hope Reba doesn't listen to the episode this deep in. My favorite vacation spot is my bed, because the only way I can do a vacation and actually come back relaxed is if I fucking sleep.
Yeah.
I like going places, don't get me wrong. But if I had to pick, like we were talking about like doing wedding planning and everything still, which is taking some weird turns. We were talking about like our honeymoon. She's like, so where would you like to go? I'm like, to sleep. And she's like, well, we can't do that. I go, why? That's like the best vacation ever. And she's like, well, because that's not what I want to do. I'm like, okay, fair.
Why don't you meet in the middle?
Yeah.
Like sandals.
You can sleep at a place that she wants to go to.
Yeah, but then
like you could just go to like Sandals Resort and just walk around the island, and she can sunbathe, and you can be passed out in the little.
Well, we're actually planning something pretty interesting. We're probably going to go to Spain, which
nice.
It's one of the only countries I've been to, but it's actually a really fun place to go. We're hoping to go to Basque Country because I've not been to that region. So
okay.
So but like whenever I go on vacation, like if I go home to visit family, I'm not relaxing because I get home and I settle back into it's like I'm there and 15 again. So and the way my family dynamic is, like, I am the one who's outranked by everybody. So whatever my mom and dad say, it's like, this is how we're going to mess with you today. Amanda, like my sister, completely out fucking ranks me. So
Are you older?
yeah. No, well, see here, I'm older and more laid back. My sister is very smart, responsible, and true. Yeah, better looking. Yeah, that's for damn sure. But she's probably like, I think my parents still on some level believe that she's my most likely route to survival. Because they're like, because I remember when I was in high school, my parents were always like, you know what, we're gonna put a stipulation in our will that Amanda has to make sure you have a roof, because we don't know that we can trust you to do that. Now the irony here,
they do know you pretty well.
like the irony here is, I moved to Philadelphia at 23, having never been here. Like, I visited for a weekend once. And have existed for 16 years just fine. I got married. I got divorced. I went to college. I got a new career. I feel like I'm surviving okay.
I'm worried about you every time you put on the PSVR headset. Like, I'm worried for you.
Why?
He'll do something because he's Keel. Okay? Like, I'm worried something's gonna happen to you.
Well, I mean, we are talking about a guy who played Astrobot and hit his head on the couch he was sitting on because he decided to try and look underneath one of the platforms.
Now you understand.
I almost did that too. Like, I'll be like, I'll go like this to try and look around a corner, and I'll be like, I'm gonna end up like hurting myself.
Well, you know? I mean, at least I know enough to just not stand up with the VR on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there was one level where you have to stand up in Astrobot just to sort of see where the guy is. I stood up and I'm like, don't move. Just sit back down.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Like little
VR mantras.
When I was letting my nieces play, I was like, if you start feeling sick, just close your eyes. Do not move. Close your eyes and just let us know, and we'll take the headset off. You know what I mean? So that they don't get disoriented and, you know, hurt themselves, most importantly, but then like damage the headset.
Yeah, no, I knew it would come back to something like that. Like, don't forget my trophies.
Oh no, they were popping trophies for me. It was awesome. They're getting them in Beat Saber.
Before we put this question to bed, there is one thing I'd love to do this year. I really don't see how I could do it or afford it, but I'm not a cruise guy. I've never been on a cruise. The thought of being stuck on a boat with a bunch of people sounds like a fucking nightmare to me because I don't like people that much. But there is this thing called the Mega Cruise. Have you heard of this?
Isn't that the heavy? Is that the heavy metal cruise?
Yeah, it's Megadeth. It's Megadeth's cruise.
Yeah.
And so it's in October this year, and the lineup for someone like me is like the dream come true. Like Megadeth, Anthrax, Suicidal Tendencies. There's so many. Death Angel, and like seeing all those bands together would be incredible. But I'd have to be stuck on a cruise ship to do it. So
yeah, right. How are you on a boat? Do you get motion sickness?
No, it doesn't. I don't get motion sickness.
See, here's the thing. Like, you think it's bad because there's a lot of people. I'm not a crowd person either. Like, I don't have a problem being on a boat with people. That didn't bother me. I'm more of like being stuck in a crowd and I can't like get away, you know? Mm-hmm. So
I hate elevators. Like, I hate a packed elevator.
Well, then you'll be using the stairs a lot. But I
do.
It's really not that bad. Because the vast, where does it go? So does it leave from
I don't know, to be honest.
Anyways,
I haven't even looked it up that much. Pacific Cruise, Thrashing Through the Pacific, 2019. So.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's so cheap.
That is the dumbest great advertising that Megadeth could do.
Crashing through the Pacific.
It's like it's perfect.
Oh.
It's like, you know, when you see an ad like that, you're like, what kind of an idiot would sign up for this? And I'm just like
You're like,
drooling.
You're like, I'm gonna sign up for this.
Yes.
Like I remember there was this. I remember back home around Christmas time, there was this local, a bunch of local metal groups that wished they were going to be the next Slipknot. They did this Christmas show called Thrashing Through the Snow. I'm like, that is so dumb, and I love it.
Yeah.
I bought tickets, but then I ended up not going. I just wanted to support.
I love stuff like that.
Because sometimes you just have to support stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you get to go to Thrashing Through the Pacific, I am here for it. But let's get to our last question.
I'll let you know. We'll revisit it next week.
Let's get to our last question. Hendrix Pasternak.
Hey, yo.
Great goddamn name.
That is a great name.
I don't care what Corey has to say about it. Hendrix Pasternak is a fantastic name. He has a great question. A question we're probably going to be ruminating on for a bit. What records are you currently listening to? I've recently started collecting vinyl and thought I would get a few inspirational albums from you guys.
Don't.
Now,
a tough question, man.
This is now Phillips thought about this question correctly, because in our Facebook chat, he's like, is he asking for what we're listening to, or is he asking for recommendations, or is he asking for us to recommend inspirational albums? And
all of the above.
You said quote all of the above, mother flipper.
Yes,
and he wrote out mother flipper in all caps.
Yes, I did.
I split this up into two because I interpreted the question as he's new to vinyl. What are we listening to? Because maybe there are some albums he'd be interested in adding to his collection. That's how I interpreted it, like inspiration in terms of what he should buy.
I assumed you didn't interpret it as he's asking for inspirational gospel albums. Like,
I pulled out all my Johnny Cash.
That's cool.
Because what I'm listening to is probably not something that would appeal to him, but I have a couple albums that I'm listening to right now that I'll show.
Okay.
As well as I got a few that
I'm going to stop you real quick because we have to go to the music guy on the show. Corey, what are you listening to?
I'm listening to you guys talk about stuff that I don't know anything about.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Any inspirational albums you can recommend?
No.
Okay.
Pass.
Not even like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, who was on the first? The first one had MC Hammer, right? And the second one had Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what about? Wasn't there like the play or the show?
It was the coming out of their shells tour.
No, it was like the actual. It was the group.
I'm not like Phillips thinks I make this shit up. I'm not making.
No, I have the cassette tape around here somewhere.
See, I know he has the cassette.
I mean, I should make fun because I went to see the California Raisins when I was a kid, so that's what I'm imagining. So Corey was 30 years older than me when he went. Oh, that's awesome. You know, one of my great regrets is that I never saw the Evil Dead musical, the stage show. I should have gone to see that.
Yeah. Well, okay. You want to go first, Moose?
What
are you listening to?
So I don't have like records as in like vinyl.
Sure.
We have a vinyl player, but like.
But mostly, Kelly bought records when you guys were here. But
yeah.
I feel like she sort of does that.
So yeah, she does that, and we mainly come to the conclusion that like when we go to a concert and we like them, we pick up a record or whatever.
Okay.
So like I like almost the entirety of the Band of Skulls albums, like a lot of their stuff. Himalayan was a really good one. Their first one's good, but the Himalayan is, I think, it's 2 vinyls because it's double-sided. That's how long it is. Each vinyl is double-sided. So it's like 2 songs on each side. But anyways, that's
2 songs on each side, and yeah, okay.
That would be what? That'd be 8 songs.
Is it 45?
So there might be like 2 or 3, 2 at the minimum.
Okay.
But and then I like Churches. I like Churches albums on vinyl, so I bought when I went to their concert. I picked up. I didn't buy the newest one that they just put out, Love Is Dead. So I picked up their first album, and then I picked up their second one because I really like those two a lot, and I wasn't. Not that I wasn't enjoying the latest album. I just wasn't as into it. So I was like, well, I'll let my enjoyment of it grow. And then like when I really enjoy it, I'll probably pick that up.
Mm-hmm.
But then like you got to go with like some classic ones. Got to get some classic rock in there. Like maybe some Led Zeppelin, obviously 4. You can pick up some Led Zeppelin 4. I was actually thinking of picking up some Metallica albums on vinyl. Like I was thinking of getting the latest one because I'm actually enjoying it. Like I haven't listened to it as much as I should.
It's not bad.
No, it's not.
What's their newest one called?
What, like 50? Isn't it Hardwired to Self-Destruct?
Yeah, that's it.
Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
I think the last one of theirs I like. I actually did like Death Magnetic.
I love Death Magnetic. I loved it.
I did.
Death Magnetic, the one that has the
coffin,
the garbage can snare drum, or is that Saint Anger?
That's Saint Anger.
Saint Anger. Fucking Lars.
Right? Anything else, Miss?
No. Just getting some classics are good. I was talking to Keel about it, and he could speak about it when it's his turn. But Vinyl Me Please. Like I was talking to a coworker whose sister just loves vinyl, and I was like, well, there's like a club, like a subscription club you can join that sends you vinyl every month. And she's like, what? And so I asked him real quick if he would recommend that. He was like, hell yeah. And I'm sure, I was expecting him to say that. And so I sent it to her and then was looking at the subscription. I was like, it's actually pretty cool. You pick like what genres you want. And like, they just send like, is it every month? I think it is. You get
every month they send you a record and an art print. I subscribe to 2 of their services. I subscribe to the rap and hip hop one and the essentials one. In fact, this guy right here, Experience Unlimited, came today. That's their vinyl. That's their one this month. And then this is their rap and hip hop one. This is Camp Lo's Uptown Saturday Night, which is a phenomenal record. But I would really the one thing I would stress with that is don't be afraid of what you don't know, because they will probably send you something. They will probably send you 1 or 2 things that you do not know. And if you're adventurous and you're okay with like putting down, well, like I think it averages out to about somewhere between 23 and 27 a month for one record, which is, you can find records that price now. If you're okay spending that kind of money on something that you don't know if you're going to like, do it. Like with me, I'm more interested in trying new things. So if they send me something I don't like, I'm all in on that journey. Have they sent me albums I don't like? Yes. Have they sent me albums I didn't know I was going to like? Hell yes. So I have gotten my value out of that service. So I hope the person you recommended it to does as well. They do offer a swap system. I'm not sure how that works because I don't use it.
I think it's like once a month you can, or whatever you can.
Well, it depends on what your subscription is.
Yeah, if you don't like the album, you can swap it for something else, like in their catalog.
Something that they've done.
Yeah, I think obviously it has to be in their catalog.
Yeah. So Phillips, do you want to go next?
You're muted.
There we go. Yeah, I can go.
Okay.
So I picked. I listen to a lot of records. So I listen to as soon as I get home. I put a record on. That's just my routine, and I'll listen. I have I got this little stand on Amazon. I have it on my desk, and it's my like now playing section. So I'll just pull some stuff off the shelf, and I'll put it here. So I listen to stuff both on vinyl, and I listen to Google Play a lot because I can't afford to keep up with every single record I want to listen to. So I have a couple records here that I've been listening to. So the first one is Live After Death, Iron Maiden. It's one of my favorite live albums of all time. That's a killer set. If you like metal, which I do, that's an essential one. Then the Megadeth Cruise got me excited, so I've been listening to Rust in Peace, my favorite Megadeth album. Also an essential metal album.
Nice.
And I have two more I've been listening to a lot. This is my favorite record of the year so far. It's by a band called Traveler. I think I recommended this to you.
Yes, I love it. That album's really good.
Yeah, so this is like old school Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. They're Canadian band. If you like just rock and roll with a ton of guitar solos, that is something you would really like.
Is it
Was that?
Interrupt you for a second so we don't get too far from them. Is that their first and only album?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's their debut album.
Yep.
Okay.
This is their debut. Just came out.
Might have said that, and I just didn't hear that.
No. Hey, I follow a lot of. I watch a lot of YouTube for music, and they'll recommend stuff. And so they recommended this, and they were like, if you like early Iron Maiden, like Killers era, like you'll like this, and it's insane. It's so good.
It is good. It is a good album.
And then one of my best friends and I went record shopping the other day, and this is one of my favorite records of all time. I finally found it on vinyl. It's the second Suicidal Tendencies album. So I'm a big metalhead, obviously. So finding that album on vinyl was absolutely amazing. And then I just picked a couple of records that I thought a lot of people would. I love classic rock too, and so I picked a couple of records here. I picked 4 or 5 records that I think could go in a lot of collections. Back in Black by AC/DC.
Yeah,
it's just a perfect record to put on. There's no weak songs on it.
Yeah, no, they're all good. Yeah,
no weak songs on it. Shut up, Kyo. Starting with Thunderstruck, yes, I get it. There are some weak tunes, but they're all perfect. Another one is
because Thunderstruck is such a great song, and then the rest of that album is garbage.
It's not garbage. It's fine.
Razor's Edge is not good.
It's fine.
It's
fine. You're way too critical. All right, my next one is Low by David Bowie.
Hell yes.
It's an essential record.
Yes.
I don't even think you even need to like David Bowie.
No.
That's just a classic record that I think belongs in a lot of collections. I've got 3 more here. I'm also a huge fan of punk. That's what I started with. So I'm going to throw in my favorite Ramones record.
Leave Home?
The first one. Yep.
All right.
This is my favorite one.
You know what my favorite one of theirs is?
It's going to be
end of the century.
Yeah, it's you, so it would be something weird.
Of course, it would be the Phil Spector one, right?
Another one is Singles Going Steady by the Buzzcocks.
Yes, sir. Hell yes.
Again, I don't think you need to like punk rock to enjoy this. This is just catchy 70s English punk.
That album particularly invented pop punk.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There's no Bad Religion without that album.
There's no lots of bands without that album. Yeah. And then this one, again, I love classic rock. I know Keel doesn't like this band. This is one of my favorite bands, and that is
Warrant.
Kiss Alive. This is one of my favorite rock and roll bands.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly, I think a lot of people get caught up with the makeup or 80s Kiss, the glam metal Kiss, and they forget how many good rock songs they had in the 70s. And I think this is Kiss Alive, especially because it's basically the first 3 albums played live, and semi-live because they touched this up mostly in the studio. I think that's an essential classic rock album to have in the collection. And so those are just a few. Collecting vinyl is
dangerous.
It's dangerous. It's expensive. Yeah. I mean, I've always been the kind of guy. I don't see the point in owning it if you're not going to listen to it. Like,
Word.
I don't particularly care to own something just to have it on the shelf. To me, someone else could enjoy it more, or I could trade it for something I'd like more.
Mhm.
So I think, say you find a band you like. Let's say you pick one of these. You like the David Bowie one I recommend. Then you can go to pick a different one, and you could pick I don't know, Lodger or whatever,
or Station to Station.
Yeah, like, and so you kind of go with that. And but yeah, I don't know. Vinyl's a really fun. It's my favorite way to listen to music. I think it's the best way to listen to music, but it can be dangerous. You're getting caught up in all the repressings and everything.
So what I've been listening to lately, I've actually been digging into this guy a lot. This is
jealous of that.
This is Sleep live at Third Man Records. I am not going to confess to being the metalhead that Phillips is, but of the metal bands that I like, these guys are one of my favorites. I was really happy when they came back last year and followed up Dope Smoker with The Sciences, and very good stoner metal. Very fun to listen to. Probably still the high point for stoner metal as a band at this point, in my estimation. I've also been listening to a lot of jazz, particularly this guy, Thelonious Monk. Probably one of the he's probably one of the best jazz pianists ever. I think the way he plays with structure and he inserts like particular goofs into pop melodies is the way he does that is very fun to listen to. On that particular record, Solo Monk, he opens with a cover of a jazz standard called Dinah. And it starts out as kind of like the only way I can really describe it is if like a drunk person is kind of walking, and they take like missteps, and he does that in the song with the way he just sort of bounces between the notes. But at the very end, he turns on like he turns on the fact that he's sitting at a grand piano and can actually play in a virtuosic way. And he closes it with a degree of grandeur. And then my first recommendation, just for something to purchase is, and this is probably stupid because it's my favorite album of all time, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. There's nothing really better than that has been put to record, as far as pop music is concerned. Other than that, who's Darth Vadering into the mic? Does anybody else hear that?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I hear I'm like, what is that? Is that me? And am I doing that when I'm talking
on the mic? So
it could be me. It's possibly me, but I hear it as well, so I don't know.
Okay.
It could be any one of them.
I might be having a stroke.
Other recommendations.
Shit,
other recommendations. Either whether you call it classic rock or metal. Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Isn't that Beastie Boys right below them?
Yeah, Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique. I was going to get to them next. That is probably That's fine. If there are those slew of albums that people just need to have in their collection, whether or not they actually like them, I would throw Paranoid on that list because
I would too. It's a good album. It is
front to back, probably one of the early archetypes for the metal album. And very few bands did it better, if any did it better.
If any, Iommi is the king of the riff, man.
Yeah. I'll throw. I like Frank Zappa's first album, "Freak Out" by the Mothers of Invention. It's one of my favorite little goof. They're one of my favorite little serious goofballs in terms of music. Frank Zappa was a very smart and astute musician, fantastic and underrated guitar player.
I think he's underrated by like non-music fans because like classic rock fans worship him as a guitar player. So do guitar players.
Right. But I would actually say, I mean, I feel like in the conversation of the best guitarists ever, there are like at least 50 that get mentioned before Zappa. I think he deserves to be in the top 20. Not only because of not just of how good he was, but just how wide a variety he could actually pull off. And and he could just be a 6-string wizard if he wanted to, but he had more ambitions. And just to map out my taste, I'm also a punk guy. I'll recommend anything by The Clash. I also like ska, and I would recommend anything on Two Tone, that record label.
Can I go back to Frank Zappa for 1 second?
Sure.
So I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. I love Alice Cooper. Both Alice Cooper band and then when he went solo, Alice Cooper.
Okay.
And one of my favorite stories is like he auditioned for Frank Zappa, and he was like, "Be here at 7." So they didn't know any better, so they show up at 7 in the morning, and not knowing at 7 at night. And so they play for Frank Zappa, and they were like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "I don't get it, but because I don't get it, that's why I'm going to sign you guys."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like that's what he was like. He was like, they're like, "Wow, Frank Zappa doesn't get us. So we're doing something right."
Yep.
But he was just a great eye for talent too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Frank Zappa was amazing. Other than that, like, I mean, I have a bunch of weird tendencies as far as music goes.
I do too. I almost put Bjork on mine, but I don't know how many.
Bjork's not weird. Bjork's not weird at all. Well, that's not a weird tendency. Like Bjork, like if you like, I listen to even Bjork I don't like because it inspires creativity. Believe it or not.
I mean, it might be weird for me based on the list that I provide, right? But
sure. Like I like ambient music. This guy Gas, really good ambient music, but like it's not ambient as in like ambient with a beat. It is ambience. Like that's what it is. I tried to pick albums for the wall today that I could recommend, and I think all of these here we could talk about on some level. I think everybody needs a bit of Credence. Link Wray's first album where he sang is really good. One of the best instrumental dance albums of all time. Boards of Canada, Music Has the Right to Bear Children. If you're interested in 90s trip hop, check out Portishead's Dummy, which is up to the right.
I have that as well. It's outstanding. They have a really good live one too.
Yeah, I want to get that one. It's hard to find though. I'll throw it out there. I like Beyonce. Her last 2 albums have been great. Lemonade is really good. Common Up in the Corner. Yeah, Hercules and Love Affair is really good. Dance music. We could talk about music forever.
That's the thing. Is like it's where you stop. Because I also picked this one out as one that like I don't think you have to like punk to like this, and that's Live at the Roxy by Social Distortion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they kind of go beyond punk. Like you can be like almost like a hard rock fan and like Social Distortion. It's music is so hard, and collecting records is hard too to recommend, right?
Yeah,
because you're recommending somebody spend their money on something that you have recommended. So I try to go for like both broad stuff, and then if you like this, you'll also like this, or it's hard because it's so personal, right? Like
I mean, if you don't know what someone likes, how can you recommend something for them? The one thing I think, and we can probably close after this, unless Phillips has anything to add. If you're going to like, some people, when you talk about collecting vinyl, they're like, "Oh, do you just try and get old stuff?" I'm like, no. If you're one of those people who's going to collect based on like pressings, that's a tricky business to get into.
Slippery slope.
Like I try more often than not, the first question I'm going to ask myself if I'm holding a record is am I going to enjoy all of this? Because one thing Phillips and I have always sort of shared is like the commitment to a record where you put it on, you drop the needle, and then you just walk and let the music play.
You're down and drink a beer.
Right. You're not gonna get up as soon as the song's over and put it back or try and skip the songs throughout the album.
Right. I kind of like vinyl because I agree with Phillips's stance. Like, I don't want to own it if I'm not going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's something you need to look at too. Like, is this something that I want to? Plus, also, what's nice is if you have a streaming service, or if you go to YouTube and you're like, you look at some of the suggestions we named, or you're even looking at other people's suggestions, you can listen to stuff like on those streaming services before you invest in the vinyl.
I do that a lot too.
Although sometimes it is nice to really be shocked by, hey, check this out, and then you get it, and you're like, holy crap, I love this. You know,
blind buys are fun. I try not to do too many of them, but yeah, they are fun. Like I'll see a recommendation. There's a lot of YouTubers who do like vinyl reviews and stuff, and they don't play the record, but they'll talk a little bit about it, and I will buy it sometimes. You know, if I like the description of it. And usually I like it. Blind buys are a lot of fun. Like it's fun to find something that you didn't even know about, and then you end up loving it.
Yeah, I mean it's like trying food. You know what I mean? Like you could be like, hey, what should I get here?
I did a lot of my blind buys when I was buying CDs.
Yeah, it was easier then.
Well, one of my first jobs was at Best Buy, and it was at Best Buy when they still had a really good employee discount. So like I could walk in and buy like new release albums for like if they were $12.99 at the time, I'd pay $5.
Yeah, I worked in a music store here. It was the same thing. It was very similar. Like the markup was huge, right? So I would buy like a stack of CDs.
Yeah, and like I would literally get 5 or 6 CDs a week. And and I'd be out $30, whereas people who were buying them, normally were looking like chumps. And I did a lot of that. Like, I mean, hell, the band that led me to Portishead was Massive Attack, and I bought their album Protection just because I like the cover.
It's usually the trifecta. Like you like Portishead, Massive Attack, and Tricky.
Yeah. And then when I dug into Massive Attack, like Tricky was on their first album, but not a lot of afterwards. So I got Max and Quay on and just Max and Quay's still a fucking good album. I found that on vinyl recently. I was so happy about it.
One of the things I like about dropping the needle on a record is that like it makes me appreciate the bands who focus on making an album as opposed to just singles.
Yeah.
There's lots of bands who I think I like songs from, but I don't like any of their albums as a whole. Like, there's so much filler. And it really makes me appreciate a band when they can just make an entire album that flows perfectly. There's even some, like, each side has a different feel to it. And I love that. But this is something that only appeals to people who love music, because there's some people who music is just something in the background, and that's fine. Like I can't explain to them why I love it any more than they could explain to me why they don't. It's just you either do or you don't. And so for someone like me or Keel, or I know Moose loves music, like there's something about an album that has like such a personality to it. It's hard to describe why I love it so much. I just do. And like another thing with vinyl is that I will sometimes not listen to it, even though I have it on streaming. I won't listen to it if it's an album I really want to listen to. I'll wait till I get the record. Like if it's a band I love and I'll hear the single, okay, that's fine, but I'll wait till I get the record to listen to it because I just enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And,
like with the new Baroness album that's coming out, like I listened to the first single and I'm like, okay, I don't need to listen anymore. Like I'm a fan of the band Vampire Weekend, and I listened to the first single from them I'm like, okay, I don't need to hear any more till the album comes out. Album's pretty good.
Contra is the first one.
No, Contra. Their first one was self-titled. Their
That's
second
one
was Contra. And
both are really good, but my favorite's Contra.
Yeah, I mean, all three of their albums, all three of their first three are really good. This one is lesser than those three, I think, but it's still like.
The new one's out?
Yeah, the new one's out.
I did not know that, so I'll have to give it a listen.
It's called Father of the Bride. It's good. It's not as good as any of the three, but like it's still really good.
Yeah, it's it's kind of like you can't expect people to like constantly put out like amazing stuff because it's exhausting on an artist. Like if you look at Michelangelo, I'm sure like all his artwork isn't the best, but he's got really good stuff, and he
Well, I mean, I don't put that out as like an expectation.
Right. No. I know you're not. I'm just saying like people shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like I try and look at groups as like the entirety of their collection. Like I mentioned Band of Skulls before, like their first album was really good. The second one was kind of okay. It had a lot of slow tracks. Himalayan was good. And then By Default, which was the album before their last one, it wasn't as good. And so, it's just like, okay, well, their whole collection is decent and they have like really good albums here or there, but you can't expect like artists when they're trying to grow and trying to, be themselves to like always, catch lightning in a bottle.
Sure.
If you do end up collecting, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say like, I don't know, just something I like about vinyl too is, or even just listening to music. I sometimes like to go through a band's discography and just see where they go. So a band that always blows me away is Led Zeppelin. They put out all these albums in 10 years. That's it. And then like they just burned out. And I love Led Zeppelin, so I will sometimes listen to like In Through the Outdoor. I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
And, like it's for completionists only.
I mean, every so often I throw on Presence and I'm like, yeah, this is still not what they did before, but
or even Coda, like it's not something I'd ever recommend, but like if you look at how much good music they put out in such a short time, like one a year, basically for the first few years. Sabbath was putting out 2 a year. I think they put out their first 2 albums in the same year.
Yeah. Well, that was how the record industry was in the 60s.
Yeah, and they were like just so good. And now bands can barely put out like a decent single every couple of years. Like it has changed a lot, but that's just something I love about vinyl is just I don't know. This could be a really long conversation, so I'm trying to.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to try and finish my thought about collecting. Only get stuff that you want to listen to. Number one. Number two, don't get into the pressing game because all that becomes really is elitist dick measuring. Don't be afraid of new bands on vinyl either, because the format has come back and it's probably here to stay for a while before it dies out again. And also understand, like, be realistic. Don't go after something because it's like super expensive on Discogs. Stick with what you like. If you don't like it, don't buy it. We tried to do our recommendations like from an objective position and like say why we like this, why it's important. We could do that. We could do that for an entire show if we needed to, or if we had the time. But try and be as smart realistically with your purchases. And I feel like it, and like Moose said, if you're not going to listen to it, don't buy it. Philip said that too. Incidentally, I'll recommend some albums from 2019 real quick. Solange, When I Get Home, Chai, Punk, X Hex. It's real. Marvin Gaye released a new album this year, believe it or not. It's called You're the Man. Also, I would check out Sun's Life Metal. Nilüfer Yanya, Miss Universe, and the third album from American Football. Those are what I would recommend from this year so far. If no one has anything else, I think we can call that a show.
I showed my favorite album of the year already.
Yeah, I heard you, Traveler.
I'm gonna say if you're going to take the time to buy vinyl and collect it, I think it's worth your time to invest in quality inner and outer sleeves.
Yes.
For your records. If it comes in a lot of times like a paper one, personally, I keep the sleeve, but I take it and I put it in a quality inner sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And I do keep the paper one, but I don't keep my record in there. It just, if you're going to spend the money on the record, take care of your record. Like it's going to sound better and last longer. And
get a brush. Get a vinyl brush.
You can get the what's that, the Spin Doctor kit. Like if you have a bunch of, if you want to get into the more expensive stuff. But yeah, the brush, just the brush. Give it a brush before you put it on the turntable. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, I put it on the turntable, let it spin, and brush it.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah,
so, and you work from the outside to the inner.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you're going to buy records, please don't buy like a really cheap turntable, because while they are appealing from a price standpoint, they will destroy your records over time. So Crosley is a brand that is famous for this.
Yeah.
It's just it's not hard to collect, but there are some things you can do that will greatly enhance your enjoyment of the medium.
Mm-hmm. Like my record player that stands up. Like I looked into that pretty harshly before I backed it on Kickstarter, because I was worried about exactly what Phillips is talking about, and I looked into how they counterweighted the needle, like because I didn't want that to just lean into the record, just dig another groove, and then ruin the needle and the record.
Like I invested in a nice turntable because it's worth it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like my main source of entertainment, even more than my computer and more than my TV. Nothing compares to the use that my turntable gets. So I invested in a decent turntable. Right.
Okay. So we are like 30 minutes past my heart out, so I should get going. So let's end this. This has been episode 145, Nerds Gone Rogue, for Corey, who had a baby wake up, so he has exited the show for the time being. Thank you for being here. You can find us at Nerds Gone Rogue on Twitter, NGR Radio Podcast Official on Instagram. Email us at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com. And check out everything we do on nerdsgonerogue.com. You can find me at infinite_rewind on Twitter. My name is Matthew Keel. Captain Canada, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
You can only find him here. You can't find him anywhere else. Moose, where can we find you?
You can find me at Sven on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and PlayStation Network. You can listen to me, Jason, and Jeff discuss the PlayStation platform. We usually go live Tuesday nights around 9 p.m. So far, it's just me and Jeff until Jason's baby situation kind of levels out, which is awesome. I mean, he's got a baby, exciting times.
Gretzky episode this week.
99. He's trying to make it back for 100. I think we have a little bit of time on our giveaway for Darkest Dungeons. Check out the Twitter page, NG_platinum. You can enter there for ways to win a physical copy of the special edition. And then you can also email us questions, comments, and concerns at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com. That's it.
And this has been episode 145 of Nerds Gone Rogue. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, we love you. Banana and out.
You're welcome.